On the 18th of November 1998, Powerpuff Girls aired its first episode, Monkey See, Doggy Do / Mommy Fears. Upon release, Powerpuff Girls was an absolute phenom, but something magical was brewing here. You see, Powerpuff Girls looked like a girly show. The main cast were girls, and they actually did girly shit, yet somehow a huge part of their fan base were prepubescent boys. Look, I don't have the statistics to prove this, but I'd wager that the majority of Powerpuff Girl fans are actually boys. And the craziest thing about it was socially acceptable. See, there was a time when I wouldn't be the first person to say, oh, I fucking love Miraculous. But I tell you what, when it came to Powerpuff Girls, oh yeah, everybody was on it. It was honestly as if every single boy universally agreed that Powerpuff Girls was cool. So why did they do that? Specifically, why did they pick Powerpuff Girls to be an exception to this worldwide mindset? Why do boys love Powerpuff Girls so much? To really answer that, we have to start from the beginning. Powerpuff Girls was created by a relatively normal college student named Craig McCracken. He had big dreams of creating his own cartoon show, and he started off with his first short film called No Neck Joe. He created No Neck Joe for his prestigious college called CalArts. And if you don't know anything about CalArts, it's one of the biggest art schools in the entire world, definitely the biggest in California. A couple guys who you definitely absolutely do not fucking know who graduated from this school are Tim Burton, Stephen Hallenberg, Alex Hirsch, Henry Selick, Bush Hertzman, and my personal favorite, J.G. Quintel. Oh shit, why I say it like that? And those are just some of the animators. Some. It's safe to say that if you wanted to make it in Hollywood, you had a higher chance if you went to the school. Getting back on track, looking at No Neck Joe, you can't really see much of a similarity between it and Powerpuff Girls. To me, it looks more like Ed, Edd and Eddy or Dexter's Laboratory, which is actually interesting. It's interesting because Craig was a storyboarder for Dexter's Laboratory before he went on to create Powerpuff Girls. Bro really carried 2 shows straight out of college. This nigga is the fucking GOAT. Nonetheless, No Neck Joe laid the very foundation for his other works still to come. After No Neck Joe, Craig was more interested in creating something more superhero-y.
And I wanted to do some sort of a superhero thing, and I was inspired by this thing that Joe Horn made for MTV called Stevie Washington, the Angry Youth, and I really liked how quick and kind of almost spontaneous his little films were.
He was inspired by a small MTV show called Steve Washington, the Angry Youth. And after watching some of the shorts, you can actually see some similarities there. Anyway, using this inspiration and this newfound spark, he created, drumroll please, El Fuego! Let me explain that. Okay, so look, he didn't necessarily make a short film for El Fuego, but he almost did. The reason why he didn't finish was because his brother's birthday was coming up. And like any good sibling, he wanted to give his brother a gift. Well, his mom told him to give his brother a gift. His big gift was gonna end up being a card. So when he was drawing some characters, he finally came up with this. The Whoop-Ass Girls. Yes, sir. The my niggas for real. We got Bubbles, we got Blossom, and we got my nigga Bud. Okay, yeah, that shit was fucking terrible. I mean, okay, look. Why the fuck? Let's fix some things here. Craig didn't necessarily like the name Bud. He didn't think it rolled off the tongue like Blossom and Bubbles. So it was immediately switched to another name called Buttercup. Hey, that's my nigga. That's who I know for real. And Whoop-Ass Girls definitely can't be a title for a kid's show. So after long brainstorming and some talks with friends, Craig finally came up with his answer. So with tweaks, polish, and everything PG, these were the chosen ingredients to make the perfect cartoon show. But during production, animator McCracken accidentally added an ingredient to the concoction: unruly passion. Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born. Okay, so now we know how the Powerpuff Girls were created. But what made them special? Well, to answer that, we have to know what Powerpuff Girls was about. Hold on, let's make something really clear real quick. I'm not making a fucking deep dive on Powerpuff Girls. That shit is way too long, alright? I'm just gonna touch up on some things. I'm gonna, summarize And that's about it. All right, just all enough for you to understand what the Powerpuff Girls kind of are. Okay. All right. Powerpuff Girls is about three kindergarten girls who are accidental superpowered experiments. Since they have superpowers, they choose to fight crime and take down whacktastic villains. They're also kindergartners, so they actually go through things that real kindergartners experience. Things that boys and girls their age can relate to. Examples of this are the episode's Main Event or Bubble Vision. Both episodes where the girls are either bullied or made fun of for a characteristic about themselves. Then as the episode goes on, they overcome the adversity and still show that they still run shit, nigga. Yeah, it's honestly crazy because when they're not up to their usual crazy shenanigans, they actually enjoy doing real kindergarten girl things, like doing their hair, participating in arts and crafts, or even playing dress up. Now, if the story didn't hook you enough, especially during a time when there were barely any female leads, let alone superhero leads, then maybe the characters in the story will. Powerpuff Girls had a wide array of characters, but let's just talk about some of the villains. The villains range from germ gangsters, a transsexual ballet demon, an actual demon, a Discord mod, a mad scientist that had a Japanese accent but was also a fucking monkey. What? And many, many more. But again, we're not deep diving into Powerpuff Girls, okay? Please lock in. The characters didn't only look interesting, they were interesting. Something that a certain Sony game that got taken down can learn a lot about. Each character had their own motivation, their own story, and their own goal, making them completely different from each other. These characters stood out in their own way based off story alone. Now incorporate actually designing the character and their world, man, they was cooking. But since we're on the topic of designing characters or design in general, this would be a perfect place to segment into the next part of the video, which is design. So I'm gonna do that now. Bold black outline. Craig wanted to make a show that pops. As soon as you switch to Cartoon Network, when you see it, you see it. Even if you didn't like this style, honestly, there weren't as many shows that had it in the first place. So maybe you'd at least stop to watch just based off human curiosity, and since it's so unique. It's like the perfect highlighter to point your focus to the main idea of every single scene. And I ain't gonna lie, this was low-key genius, since according to the National Library of Medicine, ADHD is prevalent in around 8% of all children. So these kids who are diagnosed with ADHD now have a show that literally guides them to anything important on every single scene. Now also add to that the vast array of character designs that literally scream, "Look at me." We got Medusa, we got niggas in black and white, we got whatever the fuck this is, and we even got some large kaiju style villains. All in all, Powerpuff Girls design was revolutionary for its time, and it definitely showed some passion and style. This show was truly unique. I mean, it had something for literally everyone. I didn't even get to talk about its humor, action, quality animation, and its banging ass soundtrack. This is so good. Sorry, my fault. It's really good though, deadass. The show looked, sounded, and was different for its time, and even to this day. But even with that, we still haven't answered the question, why did boys love Powerpuff Girls so much? Well, who's best to ask but actual boys? Did you like Powerpuff Girls when you were younger?
Yes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
At what age did you start watching Powerpuff Girls?
I started watching it when I was I'd say 6, 7.
I say, like, realistically, I started at 8, but I knew that shit was gonna come out since the womb. You know, I was waiting for that shit to come out, and you know, that shit was distant for me.
Why did you like Powerpuff Girls even though it was such a girly show?
I like the characters, the what's it called, like innuendos between like the content. It was catered to like, I wouldn't say adult content, but it wasn't like brain rot like it is now, if that makes sense. Like, it was a lot more mature. The fight scenes, the humor was kind of funny.
it's the combination of the fact that like I don't know, their adventures was always very like I don't know, centered around like whooping ass.
Okay, there's a lot of different answers from the guys. Some boys like the maturity of the show and its clever humor. Others enjoyed the fight scenes and the main cast of characters. Which, really quickly, you remember the statistic about the 8% of children who are diagnosed with ADHD? There's some more, context to that. Yes, around 8% of all children are diagnosed with ADHD, but when we look at it from a gender standpoint of boy or girl, it's actually 10% of all boys have ADHD, while only 5% of all girls have ADHD, which means 2 times more likely for boys rather than girls. Which proves my point even more, since this show was almost tailor-made for boys with shorter attention spans. So at the end of the day, there's no main reason why boys love Powerpuff Girls so much. It's just one of those shows that has so much variety and executes at such a high level that you can just end up liking anything, kind of like Adventure Time or even Gumball. It's also a testament that boys, scratch that, anyone from any background can like something even if they're not the target audience. Now that we're done with that and we kind of have our answer now, there were a couple answers from my survey that made me question even making this video. Why did you like Powerpuff Girls even though it was such a girly show?
I didn't think it was a girly show.
Yeah, stop right there. You heard that, right? And he wasn't the only one.
I don't think it was that girly.
I wouldn't call it girly. I feel like Powerpuff Girls is just one of those things like well, first of all, it was on Cartoon Network and Cartoon Network has like all these other shows like, you know, Ben 10. It had like Naruto and shit. So like those aren't really like girly shows. I didn't really consider any shows on Cartoon Network girly shows. And because like Powerpuff Girls is on there, it didn't really hit me as a girly show. And also they was kicking ass, so like yeah, for me.
It seems some boys don't actually think Powerpuff Girls was a girly show, which made me want to test that theory. Here's a list of activities slash hobbies that I consider girly. Well, not I consider, that list was made by women. And if you don't agree with the list, go write it down in the comments so I can say boo-hoo nigga my video. Using this list, I went back to watch one specific season of Powerpuff Girls. Season 3. 3. I do 3 like this. I don't know what y'all be doing like that. And in 18 full episodes, only a whopping 4 had girly shit in it. Okay, look, I'm not a fraud. I genuinely thought the show was girly, okay? I'm telling you, there was multiple episodes when I was younger that these niggas would do girly shit before they do the fight scenes. I'm not crazy here. Please believe me. Okay. Forget that. Let's talk about the marketing then. The marketing, they be showing these dolls, they be showing the makeup. Like, this is marketed to girls. You have to believe me. Okay. This video isn't really about Powerpuff Girls. It's really about us as individuals putting fake labels on things that everyone should be allowed to enjoy. No hobby or pastime event should be restricted to a certain group of people just because that group is more inclined to enjoy it. Chances are those hobbies are dominant with that group because if any other individual tries to get into it, they're bullied or shamed for it. An example would be a boy who is bullied or teased because they like tea parties. And the bullying slash restriction is only happening because they're a boy who likes the activity, not a girl. You know what I say? Let that little boy have his tea party. Let that little girl play fight with the boys. Let that grown man enjoy his K-dramas that specifically revolve around romance. And let that grown woman play airsoft with the homies. It's literally the little things, yo. We're not on this earth for long. At all. So don't let mere words stop you from enjoying the life that you actually want. Hello. Big outro. Here's the outro. Here's the place where I just talk and yap and whatever. I have a big feeling this is gonna be my breakout video or something. Like, this is gonna be my big video for now. If it is, great. I'm happy, so happy. I really am. 2 to 3 years from now, I want to be the best to ever do this shit, as in YouTube. I want people to literally wait and fiend over my videos and not want to watch anything else apart from me. I want my quality to only keep on getting better and better. I have a lot of inspirations such as Pyro Cynical, H Bomber Guy, FD Signifier, whatever. Like, this is a long list of people that are big inspirations, but all of them are now competition. And I'm not even saying that as in like, oh no, all of them are competition, bro. That ass, like, if I meet any of these people, I'm Star Trek. I'm like, oh my god, they're goats. But it's like, it's just what it is. Like, it's competition now. So it's pretty like cool that you saw what 10 15 videos in your FYP, what's the homepage, and you picked mine. Holy Christ. Especially when I'm terrible at thumbnails. I probably didn't even make the thumbnail because I'm horrible at those. Like, everything else is made by me though. Recording, script, edits, whatever, that's all me. Oh, if this is my big video, I do want to talk to a couple small creators. If there's anybody who is a small creator who's watched this video, please hit me up. Send me your best video on Instagram. My IG should be in my description. Send me your best video that you got, bro. Like, send it to me. Don't subscribe unless you really like me as a person, because this channel, yes, it is gonna be deep dives mainly, but I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna be talking about a lot of different things, so you might not enjoy it, but as long as you enjoy me and you enjoy highly edited videos, then yeah, you're gonna be set. Don't even worry about it. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for staying. For whoever watched this entire outro through, I need y'all to also say I was here in the comments. I'm here to stay. I love this. Love y'all. Thank y'all. Why did you like Powerpuff Girls even though it was such a girly show?
Hella fire. Girly or not, that show is just fire, bro. If you don't like it, nigga, something's actually wrong with you.